I gotta say, doing the watching Wano video as well as the reaction recap video might have actually been a little bit more work than I thought it would be, but this is an instance where I didn't really mind it. I think that's what I'll do from now on. It avoids a copyright strike, and plus, I still get to do what I like to do. I still am doing what, I planned on doing in the beginning, and I get to even add a little more content as well. So, yeah, I can't really complain about that at all. Man, that's pretty cool. Yeah, it actually allowed me to feel pretty decent today. So, good morning, happy Monday, everybody. Honestly, today started out, pretty well. I mean, again, it's still early in the morning. It's just after 6 a.m. actually when I'm making this video. But I know that we're in that time of year where the sun is taking longer to rise in the morning. But if it's which normally I'm okay with, but if it's really foggy out, that is not really fun. I mean, fog at nighttime or fog in the dark doesn't really scare me as much as it used to. Thank Courage the Cowardly Dog for anyone who knows what I'm talking about. But if you're working out or running in the morning and you see someone something in the distance that looks different to you, or a person in the distance who looks different to you, it can be wow, what, seriously, there was several instances when I was working out where I almost ran into other people who just happened to be jogging at that hour because it was so foggy out. Now, keep in mind, I always have a reflective vest on. In fact, you can kind of see it in the background behind my red jacket right there. But, it's really mostly for, cars, but actually, I guess I can see why other people wouldn't see as well. I used to have a headlight, and I still do have it, but I haven't really worn it as much. Quite simply because, again, even though that it is still, the sun is still rising pretty early in the morning, so, I don't quite need the light just yet. I mean, I will eventually for sure. Especially when, this story is really scary, and this is why I wear a reflective vest from now on when I run. But it was wintertime a couple of years ago, well before I started making these videos. And I was running, and it was snowing a lot. Plows had to be out a lot, I didn't have the greatest traction I was running, etc. Now, if you are a person who runs outside in the wintertime, and you know how annoying snow can be, then you also know that the best place to run is anywhere where there's either tire tracks or where it's just plowed. Because, you actually have a really flat, solid, dry-ish, I say ish because there's no way it's completely dry, surface in which to actually, run on. Unfortunately, the way the plows work is they don't really get the entirety of, the road in question. So you have to go a little farther inward toward the road than, you would be. And on top of that, some people like to take it upon themselves to do plowing of their own. They'll just, I'm sure you can find a plow at a hardware store for, a couple $100 and put it in the front of your car or truck or whatever for, you to plow. Well, here's the thing. This was particularly early in the morning. This is back when I got up really early to run. This was probably almost 4:40 in the morning or something. This was pretty early. And I was running. And even though I had music on, and even though I, actually, come to think of it, I think I was actually wearing a hoodie and it still didn't work. basically, plows more often than not cover the headlights of someone. Now, if I see someone coming toward me or behind me, I'll be able to tell because, again, headlights. So I move out of the way accordingly. But here's the thing. Even though, like, I could see someone coming right behind me, like, the guy couldn't tell, like, I was there. So basically, I almost got run over from behind. Like, to put things into perspective, if where I was running or standing, let's say, was about where my head is, then the car in question was toward the end of my chair. It was literal centimeters. I'm not even kidding. So, yeah. Be very careful when you're running in the morning and nighttime, you know. Get yourself reflective gear. Get yourself a headlight, which, oh, actually, I do have a headlight. Oh, see? It's my headlight. So, yeah. I mean, I don't need to wear it quite yet because, again, you know, it's still a little bit early for that, but early in the year, even though it's technically, like, late August, but you get the idea. So, there's that. Let's see, what else? You know, this is something that I've seen a lot lately. And, I mean, you guys know I do try and keep things, like, really positive on here, and this is something that, you know, I in no way intend to ruin that sort of vibe. But a lot of what I've noticed lately is, you know, more and more people are losing, you know, pets or loved ones or, you know, friends because they tragically, you know, pass on. Now, at this moment in time, that has not happened for me. But it has happened before. Plenty of times, in fact, you know. I've grew up with 2 cats that are no longer alive, you know. I lost my aunt and my great aunt this past winter. So, I definitely understand, you know, like, what the feeling is. And I just want to say, I'm never going to get tired of seeing stuff like that when people post on Facebook or, you know, have messages for someone to read or watch or listen to about it. And I'll tell you why. See, we all have that instance. We all have those instances in our lives where, you know, someone, be they a person, a family member, or, you know, friend, or even a pet, you know, they enter and they tragically leave our lives in sadly the worst possible way, again, by, you know, passing on. And believe me when I tell you that it's really hard when the latter hits, you know, when they leave us tragically. But at least for me, it allows for the opportunity, or gives you the opportunity to reminisce and be appreciative of the experiences that that family member or friend or pet, you know, gave you. And, you know, allows you to think about that stuff and, you know, gives you an opportunity to be thankful for all the great memories that, you know, you got out of it. And the reason why I'll never get tired of reading stuff about that from my friends on Facebook is, whether we realize it or not, or whether we want to believe it or not, talking about that stuff is the best medicine for it. Well, some of the best medicine for it. So, it's really nice that, you know, they do share this. Because, and that's actually one really good thing about social media that we do take for granted. You know, when it comes to stuff like this, you know, in terms of the concepts of loss, you know, as long as you have a voice, I am positive that there's going to be someone to watch or read or listen. And that's cool. And, you know, again, at this moment in time, I don't have any loss in my life, but, it has happened before. And so I can definitely tell you that, we're never going to be alone about that. I think that's actually something we make that one joke, like the two things in life that are notable are death and taxes, but it really is true. Definitely for the former. That's for certain. So again, as long as you have something to say, someone's gonna, listen to you. And, again, if there's ever any advice, I even say at the end of a video, if you ever want to talk or chat about stuff like this, you're welcome to do it with me. Again, it's coming from a guy who's contemplated suicide before. So I definitely know that, if you need to talk, please do. Talk to me. I've been there, man. I know. I know exactly, what, goes on in terms of the feelings department. And it's hard. It is. But, the only thing you can really do is, talk about it, take one day at a time and, continue to try and, have positive outlooks on life. Try and make good choices. Because, again, bad stuff can happen, but some pretty darn good stuff can happen too. You just gotta hope for it and work for it. At least that's what I've noticed. Again, I'm not really I'm far away from being an expert on this sort of thing. If anything, I'm just giving you the advice that, I've noticed and from what I've seen. So feel free to take anything I say with a grain of salt. If, again, if you find any offense to anything I just said, I am very sorry. I did not mean to offend anyone with what I just said. I really don't. Trust me. I was actually trying. If anything, I was trying to be, good. Now, that's one thing whenever I make these videos. I actually try and be good here. What I do off camera or what I do in the privacy of my own home or what you do in the privacy of your own home, that's the business of others. I'm not even gonna try and mess with that. So, yeah, sorry, I almost covered the camera right there. So, yeah, August is coming to a close. Getting ready for my grandma's birthday is, at the end of this week. She turns 85 on, August 31st. I cannot wait. That does remind me I should probably get her a birthday card. I'll get her a nice birthday card, I think. Something nice. Because I do love my grandma. And my ex-step-grandma on my mother's side. Yeah, it's a little bit complicated on that, but yeah, they both have the same birthday, August 31st, which, it's easy to remember because it's the very last day of the month. And actually, there is one girl I knew in college who I was crushing on, and I guess I still kind of do have a crush on, whose birthday is August 28th. And it's actually easy to remember that one because my birthday is December 28th. So you see, they're both 28. So I know that's easy. So that's why it's easy to remember for me. So it's always easy to find parallels and stuff if you just think about it, But yeah, I don't know. That's just what I do. That's just what I say. Yeah. So again, if you ever have a loss of a family member or a friend or a pet, by all means, please share. I welcome it, in fact, because as bad as you're feeling right now, talking about it really is some of the best medicine for it. And even if, for whatever reason, I'm not there to listen, somebody probably will. And they can definitely share in your sentiments. So, yeah, that's really about all I have on that. I mean, again, that's always one problem I've always had myself, is I have really great ideas, but I can never really close it out with, like, a really good, like, finisher, I suppose. But, no, that's just me. I should, like, probably, like, hire a writer or something for these videos. I don't know. Well, better get the day started. It may be Monday, but just think. Monday isn't going to, today isn't going to be that bad. It shouldn't be that bad. Although, I think that does remind me, school has probably started in some areas, and I definitely do want to touch upon something about that, but I think I'll wait until school starts in, my area to really talk about that advice. But that's something we'll have to do probably, like, a week from now. Like, favorite, share, hit that subscribe button. Follow me on social media platforms. And turn on those notifications on YouTube. I am very humbled I made this video for all of you guys to watch and enjoy for today. I'm hopefully you have a wonderful Monday. And remember, if any of you guys ever want to talk or chat, I'm always going to be here to lend an ear. I'll always have your back. Take care and make good choices.